we want to troubleshoot meetings. That's what it's especially about. And for that, what we need is a way of searching meetings, of course. So here we've got a different view on meetings, meetings in total, where it says here meetings quality, right? So that gives us like more of a dashboard view of the meetings especially. But then we're also able to say, okay, give me the list of meetings as such, right? The rooms that people have or the individual meetings that they organize. But also I can jump straight into any participant session that is happening live or historically. So that would allow me still to see what meeting is that participant part of, but maybe with this view I can straight jump into certain users that I'm trying to troubleshoot, see what meetings were they into, and then compare the different quality parameters that I have in a list view, or filter for more criteria that I have maybe on the OS version, the ISP involved, or the equipment that they've used. So pretty easy. And once we identified our meeting, it's just one click to get into this meeting overview page that we have here. That also comes with key metrics, trying to tell you, okay, how many people did we have in here? How many Cisco regions did we hit? With how many internet service providers involved and locations involved for this meeting? And when you scroll again down here, we can compare how all the different participants did and were connected and what was their quality. And you see there's lots of metrics we can use for that. Over classic MOS, over scores that we introduced here for video and screen sharing, the different network impairments, and then also some more hardware related metrics like CPU or client process CPU and that stuff. Once we identified certain users in that meeting that we want to have a closer look into, here's where our very new EQ360 technology kicks in and helps you seeing what's happening. So I give you a few examples of how this can look like. So we look at Joseph here, and his session seems to be perfectly fine, but EQ360 can really help us to get more details in that session. Once I hover over some of the points in here, and we can see in this very nice graphical illustration, it tries to show you what's happening from end to end, from the microphone that he talks into, over the PC that he is connecting with, and where the Webex client is running on, the network and its connection to the ISP in his local area, and then from the ISP to the Webex infrastructure, in this case in Texas, USA. And we've seen that the network splits out in certain modalities that are used within the meeting, so we can compare all these different modalities. But as said, in this instance, everything looks good. Maybe some slight degradation on the network side, but overall that there wasn't any problem. Now we're looking into Ronaldo's session, and here we can see our visual alerts show us that the network wasn't good at all. And maybe Ronaldo should really check his Wi-Fi, because that did hurt his audio connection really badly. But we also see that it was actually a TCP connection. So maybe that is something where we also need to check the firewall in order to see if there's more UDP ports to be open for the audio connection here. Last but not least, we have an example from Sofia. Here again, we see network looks perfectly good from the overall statistics. Some slight degradation here in the maximum values. But we notice here is a problem on the client, and here we can see that there's actually the CPU that was going high on the system, and that is actually something where we want to pay attention to here to see if there's maybe some services and processes that need to be disabled, or if there's basically the hardware is not equipped for everything that's running on Sophia's device.